Man, computers are awesome. They let you do basically anything from reading and writing all the way to rocket science if you know how. And personally, I love computers, but in my history of them, it was hard to get a high performance computer due to my budget. However, when I got the MacBook Air, it changed everything. Now, the Mac from this time period were well known for getting really hot. That's because the Intel i7 is a really beefy chip that needs like a lot of cooling. But since the MacBook Air is so thin, it didn't have enough room to properly ventilate. And who's to blame? Its designer, Johnny Ive, of course. He had the dumb idea to put this overpowered chip in this very thin laptop. But don't get me wrong, this laptop served me well. It helped me get through the pandemic with my online classes, helped me learn to code in Roblox Studio, and most importantly, filmmaking. Without that Mac, my YouTube channel would not be here. But to be entirely honest, the overheating problems get worse every year, to the point where I had to put an ice pack on it even when I want to do something as simple as web browsing. But I had to deal with it. I can't just buy such an expensive computer like that again. When playing anything, even games that aren't as graphics heavy like Minecraft and Roblox, I'd have to set the graphics quality to as low as possible. I was thinking about getting a new laptop for a while when the overheating started to get out of hand, but I couldn't figure out which computer I should get. There were a lot of options, and I was trying to get a Windows computer, since a lot of the things I needed to do at the time had to be on Windows. But I couldn't find a good replacements. The closest I could find was a Microsoft Surface laptop, but I found out those weren't as good as a MacBook. I finally landed on the Mac Mini with an M2 Pro. It was a good deal, and the chip allegedly could run games really well, but I was pretty hesitant considering that my previous Mac ran like a piece of poo. I could either A, get a really good Mac, or B, another waste of money that runs just as poorly as my Intel Mac. After deep consideration, I got it. After a week of waiting for the Mac Mini to arrive, my first impressions were, holy crap, this thing has a lot of ports. 4 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, a headphone jack, and Ethernet ports. This is awesome compared to my MacBook Air, which only had 2 USB-C ports and a headphone jack, so I need to get a lot of dongles. When it first turned on, I was so astonished to see how fast it turned on. I was genuinely flabbergasted because I've never seen a computer turn on this fast in my life. After migrating my data and updating it and doing all that fun stuff, I was devastated to find out that Apple Silicon's Macs can only output at display resolution. Basically, what this means is that I can't change the scaling of the screen, so all the windows are going to be pretty big and I won't be able to fit as much as I could on my other Mac. But I just decided to give in and I got used to it. It is still a real bummer. Now it's time for the performance. In terms of Minecraft and OBS, this Mac runs amazing to what I had on the Intel Mac. Shaders run great at 120 FPS, while my Intel Mac can barely run 3 FPS with shaders and barely 40 without shaders in Minecraft. I can finally have multiple apps open at a time now, since my Intel Mac would lag like crazy when I attempted to just have my web browser open. And with this new Mac Mini, I can finally record my 3DS and PS Vita for videos! My method for streaming on the 3DS is have my 3DS stream the game data using an app called ArcticBase, which sends the 3DS game data over to an emulator on my computer, which is where the game runs. This is awesome, so I can finally run high-quality 3DS games without having any performance drops. And my PS Vita can finally have its audio be recorded. My Vita would have to use a USB cable that would send the screen data to OBS, and audio was sent through a headphone cable. But since my Intel Mac could detect that it was a microphone, so I could record the audio, they were headphones. My M2 Mac was able to detect this output, and I can finally make videos with my Vita. But overall, the 2020 MacBook Air is an amazing laptop. It helped me get through so much stuff in only 4 years, and I love that about it. Sure, it might have had its overheating problems and its lag spikes, but it still did a great job. Now with the Mac Mini, I can get even more things done.